The fourth round of the Blancpain GT Series Endurance Cup is the total 24 hours of Spa. It is always a highlight of the motor racing season, and in this, the 69th running of the event, it is wide open. It's a 63-car grid and a fantastic race in prospect. It's a long week for the teams. They've been here since Monday, and on Wednesday, the traditional drivers' parade. There's a lap of the circuit, then off the circuit at La Source and onto the public roads down to Spa Town. It's a chance for the fans to get up close and personal with the drivers and with the cars, and it's a rare chance to see a fully blown GT3 monster out on the public roads. The parade led by Stefan Rattel and into town with thousands of people on hand to enjoy the atmosphere. One of the potential winning cars this weekend has got to be from Audi, and Nico Müller looking forward to a big event.
It's one of the highlights of the year. The 24 Hours of Spa is probably one of the biggest events in my whole schedule, so very much looking forward to that. To go 24 hours around that magical track with 65 others is a challenge, and we hope to get through faultlessly and fight for a podium spot in the end.
Maxime Soulet comes here having won at Paul Ricard last time out. The Belgian driver on home soil looking forward to a good result and in confident mood.
We're going to go for it. We come in a stronger position. We just won the last race, so I mean, I think we have a good chance. I mean, Eau Rouge is still my favorite. I think we are one of the only cars that can go flat through there, so it's always challenging to do it.
Giancarlo Fisichella has raced here in Formula One. Now he's here aboard a Ferrari for the total 24 Hours of Spa. And this, the biggest GT event in the world, is one he wants to win.
It's my dream. I will do everything to win it. It's not easy at all. Everybody are quick, everybody has a good driver's lineup, good crew, good car. So I got a great feeling with the circuit, and I'm really confident for this weekend, yeah.
After years of trying, Maxime Martin finally bagged a Spa 24-hour victory last season. And now he's after back-to-back wins for BMW, the most successful brand on the grid.
Winning Spa last year for a Belgian driver is just amazing, and to be back here to try to do a second time will be hard, but with these fans and on this track is just amazing. You know, on 24-hour race you need a bit of luck, so we try to get it back this year.
Competition in the AM Cup is no less fierce. McLaren, one of the brands to beat here, and the Garage 59 entry has Chris Harris aboard, and he has been training hard.
You know what, I know you laugh, but I've been in the gymnasium occasionally. I've done some running, done some weights. I'm still middle-aged and old, and looking at all the whip-it racing drivers in that photograph, I feel a bit embarrassed, but I'm fine. And there's fit and there's racing fit. I think I'm okay. I've proved that I can do doubles and triples in these races before, so I'm happy. Mental preparation, don't think anyone believes that just through hard work and preparation they can do well here. There has to be an element of luck. You can talk lap times, you can talk deltas, you can talk sector times, you can talk engineering, but ultimately it's about spending as little time stationary as possible.
Opposition to the McLaren comes from Porsche and from Ferrari, aboard one of which is Patrick van Glaveke, set to make his debut in the Spa 24 Hours.
It's a very difficult track, and it's a dangerous track, and the cars are fast, so you have to be careful about what you're doing. It's a question of surviving, getting the car to the finish, and that's the first objective in a 24-hour race, stay out of problems.
63 cars ready to do battle at one of the world's great circuits. A fabulous race is in prospect. Welcome to the total 24 Hours of Spa. One man who's delighted with the success of the entry is Stefan Rattel.
But it's competitive at 36 cars in 1 second and 21 in 5/10 of a second, so it's very, very close.
5 brands in the top 6?
Yeah, 5 brands at the top, and I think all the brands are within 6/10 of a second, so it's going to be very, very close and very exciting.
So we've got the cars at the end of the pit lane. 22, the Nissan Struan Moore at the wheel, and then the 00 Mercedes will be behind. They are the ones that have to start from the pit lane as the national flag is waved to release the cars onto this formation lap. The two in the pit lane will join in once the race gets underway, and then, as I said, they will also have to take this stop-go penalty for contravening the regulations by changing engines and effectively changing chassis. Those are not the original cars that were scrutineered at the start of the event, but because of big accidents in both cases, it's been an understandable reason to change and keep in the event. Let's just have another look at this grid with Giancarlo Fisichella and Mirko Bortolotti on row 1. Christopher Mies and Kevin Estre on the second row of the grid. Audi ahead of Porsche. René Rast and Maxi Buch will line up on row 3. Audi alongside the Mercedes. The fourth row is where you find the great Johnny Adam penalised for missing his slot at the pit exit time in the Superpole yesterday. So he had his best lap time deleted. Still starts on Pro-Am pole 7th with Stefan Ortelli's Jaguar alongside. Felipe Albuquerque is next with Alex Buncombe's Nissan for company ahead of Maxime Martin's BMW, and Frank Stippler, as good in a modern as a historic racing car, he starts 12th ahead of Raffaele Marciello, and then Maxime Soulet's Bentley ahead of Alessandro Pierguidi in the yellow Ferrari. And the yellow Bentley, Christer Juns will go first in the Abt car. Not an M Sport round car, but Hans-Jürgen Abt's team. The M Sport car is next in the hands of Guy Smith. Jake Dennis in the WRT Audi for company ahead of Marcus Winkelhock, winner of this year's Nürburgring 24 Hours, and Danny Juncadea in the ACA ASP Mercedes. 63 GT3 cars good to go racing. The best GT racers in the world. The overall battle, Pro-Am, Am Cup, Spa 24 Hours good to go now with 2 wheels on the grass. He's Maxi Buch. He was really keen to get going there as they thunder downhill for the first time. Fisichella it is that leads sideways. Bortolotti, but he manages to hang on to what could have been a really nasty moment as they power their way uphill for the first time. Fisichella leads, but look, Kevin S going second in the Porsche. Wow!
I mean, what can you say? This is GT racing at its very, very best. 63 cars into Eau Rouge, over Radio, all the way up the Camel Straight, into Les Combes. So far, it's been a clean start. All I can say is, well done, everybody. But there's still 2/3 of the lap to go for that to change. Hopefully, there will be about a bit of body rubbing in these tight turns up around Les Combes, but nothing that's going to be serious. Johnny Adams in the Aston Martin directly behind Maxi Buch. He tried to get a flyer. He had to put 2 wheels on the grass coming down to the flag. He didn't get any benefit out of it in the end.
And it's gone wrong already for 22, because that is the car, I think, stationary out on the circuit. The stop-go penalty has just been imposed. The race director wanted to get the start out of the way and then give the stop-go penalties so that the race has started and kind of settled down, but I fear it's not settled down with this one car now, and it looked like 22 to me that is stranded out on the circuit. So Bob Neville's team having yet more woes as the leaders dive down to La Source. The circuit now covered in GT cars as 42 dives up on the inside line there. That's the Stracker Racing car that runs through with Lewis Williamson at the wheel. But at the end of lap 1, Fisichella leading the way from Bortolotti by 1.9 seconds. Side by side, Jake Dennis at the inside of Pierguidi. Breathe in, Jake. They get a lead on each other. Bodywork flies. Christer Juns in the Bentley tries to take full advantage. Pierguidi will be all fired up now.
Oh dear, we've had a big one.
Oh, massive Ferrari.
Is that passing the Torres's car? Just trying to work it out.
Oh, that's big.
And that's to Eau Rouge, and in fact he went off there. After that is, I think we'll be seeing a safety car for that one. We'll go to full course yellow, I am sure of that.
Passon Lathoris is out of the car, and he is... That was a heavy hit. Anybody who hits the tire bail, let's look and see if we can... Oh,
very early in the corner.
Let's have a look again. And, oh, dear me, we didn't quite catch the beginning of it. That car is junk.
We've nearly got to the 2-hour point in the race, about another 15 minutes and we'll be there. But track conditions perfect, all the debris cleaned up, and Maxime Soulet will plant the throttle as hard as he can and see if he can...
No, he won't.
No, he won't.
He's going into the
Why
pits.
did he do that? I was just trying to big him up.
No, strategic
Of course it's strategic.
planning, and it's going to mean that Bentley have realised, they've read the situation, that they're going to come in. Will Maxime Soulet now vacate the seat? I think the answer is an on-question yes.
Yeah, but of course we know it's so super tight with the regulations, a chance to take an advantage on anybody else. It makes it very, very hard for the race tacticians, the team tacticians, to try and decide what they want to do. But Bentley, we got it slightly wrong in the closing stages last year as the rain came and then it dried out, then it came again, and it ended up with BMW taking the honours. But this year, Bentley trying to really have a roll of the dice early on.
Stefan Ortelli has just got in for the pits, and it's been explained to him what he has got to do.
Well, the car's still in the pits because he's still listed as the driver, so
yeah,
waiting for that to rejoin.
Wait, what is that all about? But Ortelli, clearly, he is confused by what has been going on. Is that a miscommunication from the team, or did he misread what was happening? Whatever it is, being consolidated or controlled by a team member before he goes up to to see the headmaster, and let's look again. What's happened? Waved yellow flags.
Well, look who's on the track and who's in the pit lane.
That was the problem. That's where it went wrong.
Well, that's where it went wrong. And John, I'm afraid we gave him a lot of scope earlier, credit that it must have been someone else, but he was the one that failed to see. But all the cars ahead of him came in. So unless someone in the team had said you have to stay out, he just obeyed. And it's Andrea Caldarelli leading the race from 55, which is now in the hands of James Collado. Oh, dear me, that's which the Audis.
Missing a
Where's
wing
the rear
and
wing?
missing a left rear wheel.
Jamie Green
In car 17, that's the one with the yellow flashes, and not quite the car it used to be.
No, and it's facing the rush coming. That's coming out of Bruxelles.
An hour. So there is the race leader, still says 0-1. The orange one team, Lazarus Lamborghini, comes in, whether for a drive-through or a pit stop, it seems to have a few of each. But Andrea Caldarelli took over from Mirko Bortolotti, is clearly staying on for another stint, for a second stint. But 0-1 on the windscreen will not be shown next time around. Now, new leader in Pro-Am is car number 18, which is one of the Black Falcon Mercedes.
Yeah.
This is slightly out of sequence because we're just hitting a pit sequence where drivers are coming in.
Race leader is in.
So, well,
Right
he was
on the
second
hour.
place. So everybody is having a go in the pits.
Yeah.
And of course the Lamborghini will benefit from this because he will have his fresh tires, go fast now, so the gap should be bigger by the time Collado goes back on track if he stays in the car. But
Well, the question is, you know, when you're in this situation, if you're running that Kaspersky Ferrari, if you're doing the strategy, do you stop 2 laps earlier to undercut Caldarelli and do that, have that outlap on fresh rubber, or do you go, no, there's still 21 hours to go, we'll worry about that tomorrow afternoon?
But for the 63 Lamborghini, it's been a very strong race. Andrea Caldarelli staying on board.
There's the Ferrari. Let's look at the top of the hill for the Lamborghini. Well, he's not there yet, is he?
No, he's just come out of the final corner, just gone over the start-finish line. But it's such a long point until that Ferrari can get to the white line and release. Going round La Source now is the car that was leading the race. I think the Ferrari, even though the pit stop looked fairly controlled, could pop out in the lead, but he isn't on the track yet.
He is.
Yeah,
now he's releasing it. Where's Caldarelli?
There he is, coming down into Eau Rouge. Think of the speed that Caldarelli's got on board. You know, he's doing 160 miles an hour. James Collado probably not yet doing 160 kilometres an hour, has come out in front though. So the lead at the moment has changed, and that worked okay. He got by the car in front in the Lamborghini, Andrea Caldarelli. So he is now in second spot, but his tyres are a lap in. He's got heat, he's got feel, he's got confidence. Collado's going to have to rag the Ferrari now on his first lap out of the pits, but they have affected that lead change, and there's the number 1 car. So the Lamborghini got between the cars that were second and third, but it didn't get in front of the car that was second. So a change in the order of our top 3, but it's still the same 3 guys going to duke it out.
The 48 Mercedes
going slow again.
creeping down. That's a puncture on the right front. So that's a midway round the lap. As the Audi is off at the bus stop chicane.
Just trying to see which of the Audi Sport cars that is. Just hearing whisper it's one of the Team WRT cars, number 6. And that was just trying to see, did it do it all on its own? Well, it appears to have got very close to the car in front. But no, that's
something went wrong.
That lost everything because it's got its lights. Yeah, lights are out, so it lost electricity, drive, probably everything.
Well, let's find out what's happening in the world of Audi. Chris Reich ahead of Audi Motorsport with Dakota.
Chris, now do you know what's happening with car 6?
Unfortunately, at the moment, there's not too much to comment on because we just lost connection. We seem to have an electrical error in the car. We tried to get it going out there. We have contact with the driver, but yeah, unfortunately, for the moment, it doesn't look good.
There is the hard shot for the photographer, the cameramen, trying to pick out the cars as they come up 3-4 abreast, up towards the camera position at Lecum at the top of the hill. Conditions absolutely changing as night falls very quickly at Spa-Francorchamps. Been a great day. People always go, when you're going to the Spa 24 hours, when will the rain arrive? On present signs, certainly not for the next few hours, maybe not tomorrow. We've had a lot of blue sky today. Midnight, you reckon?
Is that a sort of an educated guess, or?
When you look outside, it's coming.
There is cloud forming directly in front of us, looking up skywards, and it's dark, dirty looking cloud, but in the gravel.
Is it gravel or is it steam coming
Well,
out the
it could be.
engine?
It could be
And
the
then
dust from the gravel trap.
It's one of the
Or it
Jags.
could be the engine
Could it
itself.
be?
Maybe something. Oh dear! A driver out of the car, and that looks like it's a smoker.
The Kaspersky Motorsport with Spirit of Race Ferrari running very well indeed in the hands of Giancarlo Fisichella, who started the race from pole position, Marco Ciocci, who took over, and James Collado, who put in a very good stint as well. Now it's back in the hands of Marco Ciocci, having his second stint after Fisico had his second. So next up, by process of elimination, will be
Collado. Or Fisichella. No, Collado.
Collado be next. Now apparently there's something in the track. Oh wow, look, that's beautifully picked up by the camera. I mean, look,
well
is it
done.
off the orange Lamborghini, perhaps? The orange one, Lazarus Lamborghini? It's on a downhill stretch. But again, as we ride with the Bentley, the number 8 Bentley in 5th place overall, plenty of cars still out on the circuit. We've got still listed as 59 of the 63 starters circulating out on circuit. And as you can see, after a very brief full course yellow, the field is not particularly bunched up, but traffic between Andy Soucek, the car he's chasing, that number 2 Audi.
Yeah. Can't
What's the
see
light
a thing. Is
beyond
that a
the
car stop?
No, car stop. It's
84.
84. That's from 4th place.
Is that an accident?
Well, it does seem to be. He's parked at a very strange angle. Looks like he's missing a front right tyre.
That's what I'm just trying to work out. If damage at the rear of the car.
It's a radio.
It's a
He's gone
shunt.
up.
That is a major shunt. 84 is out of the event.
Well, he was very, very close to the back of Conor De Filippi, having been passed for 3rd place about a lap ago. We got the yellow flag. Is that going to be full course yellow? Yes, it is.
Full course yellow.
Oh, dearie me.
That is an unexpected surprise to everybody. HTP not least.
Well, honestly, that wasn't a dark horse. That was a car.
Look at the team.
Oh, they can't believe it.
They're absolutely shell-shocked. Now it
Well, that was
goes
the
off
84
beyond the
car.
camera position.
And we could hear him going off just out of the camera shot. He didn't look too loose. I thought at first he might have clouted the curb on the inside.
But he's gone across. He's gone across the racetrack, and that's similar area that we saw the 88, the 00 Mercedes, the Japanese entry, go on Thursday afternoon. Bentley into the pit lane.
Pits. Okay, this is the tight entry. This is from the lead of the race. Andy Soucek was sitting on a 28-second advantage over Marco Ciocci's Ferrari. Of course, that will see him tumble down the order. In fact, the others are just going over the start-finish line, I think, now. Yeah, 4.5 seconds after the Bentley crossed it, but the Bentley garage is after the start-finish line on the left-hand side of the screen. You can just see it pulling over into its area in front of its pit garage, looking for a driver change, and that's Andy Soucek's out, and Maxime Soulet in his mock James Hunt racing helmet with the colours of Wellington School. That's quite strange to have a Belgian racer with a British public school colours on his helmet, but obviously James Hunt.
I think he obviously admired James's values.
Well, quite so. So still plenty of entertainment out around the circuit. The safety car still leading the way around. The race started at 4:30. We're nearly at 11 o'clock. So there's still 17 and a half hours remaining, and the concert is starting to line up. Laser shows down there.
Back racing, 3.5 seconds separate the top two. It's Rafael Marcello in the 90 car who now leads. 3 seconds back is the Audi R8. A bit of a gap between those top cars, and they've got a lot of traffic between them.
And you just saw as the leader went through the dip here at La Source, the hairpin. If you ever see a shot of Eau Rouge in the dark with a trail of lights going up the hill, look for the sparks. If there are sparks, it was a Mercedes. It's the bit right behind the back of the wheel arch. When they hit the compression, that bit of the floor hits the ground, and that's where the sparks come from. So the race leader is, at the moment, Raffaele Marcello. Frederick Vervies behind him in the number 2. Audi in second place.
Well, just a bit of an epic start to the weekend. How many times has your car been hit so far in this 24-hour race?
I couldn't count them. I think in the last 17 laps, Lee, the race engineer, Garage 59 says has been hit, I think, 7 times in the last 17 laps. So, as it gets dark here, naughtiness prevails. We know that, because the judges of fact can't see as much. But it's pretty brutal having that amp badge on your back. It becomes a bit of a target.
This is
here we go.
Exit of I don't think so. I think this is down at
it's a Mercedes.
I think it's Nuon. Is that 18? 18. So that's the second in class Black Falcon Motorsport. No, it's now third. Well, it is now third. It was second. So this is Hubert Haupt. Lots and lots of cars from all different classes. There is the back of 22, the red Motul Nissan with those 4 circular lights. Love that shot. And again, there's a Merc sparking away. And another. And another.
Fixed camera or not fixed camera, that cameraman pretty much, I reckon, has the best seat in the house, I reckon.
Yeah.
Oh, another car off.
That's an Audi.
It's got a 2 in the number.
Oh my goodness.
And it's a Mercedes as
Kobayashi.
well.
Wow.
And that's the Kobayashi Mercedes as well, yeah.
Oh, again? So the Audi turns sharp left under braking.
With a
clatters
Mercedes
into
there.
the Mercedes.
Oh, we said the Mercedes sparks, but not that much.
Wow. And it's sparking because it's broken the right front suspension.
Oh, that's a shame. And that was, yeah.
Okay, so which of the Audis? Okay, there we go. So number 3 car.
Oh.
5, 4.
They're both in, 1 and 2. They're making a brake change. Now, according to my information, you can only make it from hour 12 to hour 15. Now, we're only 11 hours and 6 minutes in. And there's not many cars coming by the pit lane entry road at the moment, but the leader has.
A lot of
Fizzy hasn't changed onto wets yet, has he?
No, he's just getting ready for that.
Vincent Vos runs Team WRT Audi. Ben is with him.
Absolutely. Just want to clear up exactly why the WRT cars have decided to change their brakes now. Is that okay in terms of regulation?
Yeah, well, we did our technical pit stop with both cars, and now with car 5, well, which was our way to do it.
It was always the plan to do it this early in the race, before the 12-hour period?
Well, yeah.
Well, considering that we are still on slicks on this onboard camera of the 63 car, who's that of?
This is the leader. He still
seems to be using a lot of the road on the exit of the corners, which is that painted bit of curb.
Yeah, but have you seen he's in 6th gear a lot, where he might otherwise be in 4th or 5th?
Yeah, 4th or 5th, yeah, okay.
So he's changing up to reduce the, and probably backed off the severity of the gear shifts and stuff like that, and traction control up to the max, ABS up to the max, because they don't want to go into the pits. The problem for them is, if it doesn't stop soon and force the wet shod cars back onto slicks,
because the wets wear a lot quicker and they sort of lose their bite. They turn to jelly after a while.
Is it wet enough for the wets to survive an entire stint? At the moment, no. And in comes Fisichella.
Oh.
Now then, no. Now then, he's not bottled it and is coming in for wets. He either needs fuel or they are going to do a 5-minute technical stop as well.
Change,
Slicks are ready, so does he need fuel? Fuel hose is ready, but it would be anyway. Where's the driver?
They're still using all of the curbs, you know. Normally in these sort of conditions, when the circuits are wet, you don't normally use the curbs on the exit of the corners, but remember, these cars have got big fat tyres on, whether they're on slicks or wets, are using all of the road that they possibly can, and the spray is definitely getting less. So course yellow in 10 seconds. Course yellow from the clerk of the course there.
4, 3.
As one of the Lamborghini, the leading Lamborghini comes into the pits. Ben's still saying it's very, very wet out there.
So here we go, these are the latest championship updates, and the 63 Lamborghini team helping to extend their advantage with another big set of points at this 12-hour mark. So there is the number 8 Bentley, currently lying in 4th position, as it shows in the windscreen, 0-4, that's the position he is. White numbers mean he's in the pro class, riding on board with
that's the Bentley.
Andy Soucek, isn't it?
Yeah,
yes.
we're on the Bentley, yeah.
No, I was trying to identify the driver, it's Andy Soucek. Let's get down to WRT and hear from to McLaren and hear from Baz Leiders.
Okay, obviously not the nicest interview that I've ever probably will do, but hey, chin up. Not the best of luck this weekend. Talk us through in stages what's happened.
Well, yes, of course, it's not easy. I mean, we were here with Stracker with 4 cars, and then 2 cars stopped around the track. One had some damage at the suspension, maybe some curbing, something like that. So there was too much repair to do. And then the 4th car, unfortunately, on slick tires, when it was still a little bit wet, went off in Blancpain, and that was the end of it.
Well, it was a red sky last night. Good news, everybody. It's a red sky this morning. Bad news, everybody. So not quite sure what that means. It means the weather has changed during the night from being favourable incoming weather to unfavourable incoming weather.
No, this is real. This is not a replay.
That was a second off for 55. They've had a brake change. We go to yellow flag. And that is potentially the end of the race for the Kaspersky Racing Ferrari. Steam escaping from the radiator.
Something broke from the previous contact at the source, and he just would not slow down.
I agree. So Marco Ciocci's out of the car. So what happens here? Who does he get thumped by? Oh, the 50 car. 90 car rather. Contact.
Our second place car. Wheel-to-wheel contact. Right front. Perhaps losing its ability to steer. Yes, as he's steering there, it's completely straight. And we go full course yellow once again. So broken steering. Contact with Rafael Marcello.
Just saw him with the marshals. He did that hand signal contact. That's broken the car. And Marco Ciocci not in the best of mood.
Well, we've got the leader in at the moment in the Mercedes, the number 85 car. It also looks like there are pads and discs ready to go, unless they've been changed and I missed it. But the trolleys are going underneath. We're just about to do pit and pads and discs on the Mercedes, on the lead car. Remember, I did say it had damage on the right rear, so let's have a zoom in on that. And also there are some tyre marks also on the left rear corner of that car. And yes, I was right. Look at the damage on the right rear corner.
On board with the number 8 Bentley in the slipstream behind an Audi, and look at this, the nose panel, the bit that would normally carry the radiator grille, the big B Bentley grille, popping loose. Now, and the problem with that is, first of all, it's going to disturb airflow around the front of the car, through the radiator, the cooling brakes and ducts and so on, but also, potentially, it could fly off, take the bonnet with it, and all of that stuff. So the car in 6th position, Maxime Soulet at the wheel of the car. Just heard from Antonio Garcia, his car are currently in 2nd place. Nico Müller at the wheel of the number 1 Audi, as Raffaele Marciello continues to lead the race.
We've now got racetrack conditions. The air is still relatively cool, although it's actually quite humid. But track conditions are now actually very, very conducive to being able to create, establish, produce really strong laps. Sector 2, you're meant not to be overtaking under a yellow flag sector, so where actually is the issue that everybody now creeping around the circuit at 50 kilometers per hour?
By the bottom of the Circuit de Francorchamps sign, just looking for it, just trying to...
There it is.
Oh, it's
the
a Lamborghini. It's 63 Lamborghini. That'd been right in the mix. Just had a pit stop. Christian Engelhardt has turned the lights out. He's gone under the tyre wall.
That's literally... He hasn't made it into Fagnes. Now, whether that was a mechanical issue, maybe driver error, we don't know, but that car's got itself well and truly buried. And remember, the driver sits on the left-hand side of the Lamborghini. He won't be able to get out of the car unless he can crawl over the other side.
He won't be able to see a great deal. It suddenly would have... Oh, well, there
but
he is out of the car.
Yeah,
so he's done well to squirm away. Ironic, that was one of 3 cars that stayed on slicks when it was raining, and yet now we have dry conditions in the morning. Something has gone amiss, and just at the tail end of the top 10, it's now tumbled down to 11th. Will continue to fall. But taking the opportunity to come into the pits from 2nd place overall, Nico Müller, he will be handing over to René Rast. So René was right. He was ready to take over should there be a full course yellow.
He hardly turns the wheel. It's as if he sensed something at the front wasn't, but there was no appreciable amount of lock put onto the car, and it just off it went.
Up through Radeon, looked a little bit more speed was carried by the Mercedes driver, but he's not the one who could gain a toe. He could have the car behind, that number 1 Audi with René Rast, get right in under his tail, not close enough to make a challenge up to Les Combes.
Again, it's a lap down, but the 117 Porsche.
John, but he did.
Oh,
he made a late stab. We just said it wasn't going to happen. He made a late stab, contacted the door.
And the Mercedes is off in Les Combes. Mercedes is off in the barrier at Les Combes. Contact between the Audi and the Mercedes. So what we thought was an impossible pass didn't look like it was going to happen. Well,
I
talk about drama.
But I thought when he made that little dart, it was just to say, didn't quite make it, but just to let you know, I'm going to try.
I was looking at the timing and scoring to see, because the 117 Porsche is only 1.7 seconds behind the third place BMW. And he comes.
Is number 1 coming in? Yes, he is. From the lead of the race. Drive-through penalty, but it's a long, long pit lane. It's 2 pit lanes, in effect, at Spa-Francorchamps, down to the pit lane speed limit. Cursing, no doubt, under his breath. He's got to stay calm, stay cool. René Rast made that move, so determined to put Audi back into the lead of the race, and perhaps a shade optimistic. The stewards have agreed that that is indeed the situation.
Oh, puncture for the right rear for the 488, which
well, that
is
was second in the AM class.
Exactly.
And Van Glavik, he was catching really quite easily, several seconds a lap on Jacques Diver. Will he make it back?
But, you know, we're talking about, and there's the Bentley still being worked on. That was the car that went off and stuff at the...
That's at a different location.
It is. It's gone around the racetrack. Let's have a look and see what's going on with the 90. So...
He's our race leader towards the end. Well, it's a replay coming up. Oh, my word. It's very nice of him to show us all his sponsors. He's got the 991 Porsche just behind him.
Was that
I think the 991 might have been involved. Another message on screen says, team manager of 911 to race control immediately. Louis-Philippe Cernan at the wheel of that at the moment, but didn't see the way in, but we saw the way out.
Well,
they're close together. He's got back
getting away with a biggie, and that was a potential biggie. What has he done to his tyres? I suspect he's got 4 well and truly flat-spotted Pirelli tyres. Oh, Winkelhock having a little sniff up the inside.
I don't think Winkelhock was happy to be passed, John.
He's anxious to get past, but there's places you can do it, and there's places you're not going to try and do it. And into Campos, with somebody as competitive as Nico Müller, you ain't going to do it.
Yeah, different teams. Point we need to make. They're both entered by Audi, but one is Team Santalok, number 25. Team Santalok, Team WRT. WRT with the advantage with the number 1 car, Nico Müller.
Oh, he's gone up the inside. He's trying.
So we thought he was just sharing the flashing of lights. You're only allowed so many flash. A big tail swinging moment for the number 1, Nico Müller. And Winkelhock should have a better exit onto the very short straight up to that source. They're fighting for position.
Bruce, this has got, get away. If I was Audi overall, I'd be saying, do you want to do this? Because look, it's happened. Marcus Winkelhock has made it through. I wondered, did Nico Müller get caught unawares, or did he decide, I'm going to let him go because that's the more prudent thing to do? There's the Mercedes on the other side of the pit complex here at Spa-Francorchamps. Up it goes. So the fuel's done, the driver change is done. It's just now the 4 wheels and tyres. Waiting for the Audi to start rolling. Still work on that right rear. What is the problem? No, they're still refueling, I beg your pardon. That's what it is.
Yes, it's because he was fiddling around with his left hand. You couldn't see what he was up to. So 90 away, coming out behind the 85 Mercedes from HTP Motorsport. That was brought in by Fabian Schiller. So let's see who is at the wheel of the 90. It still says Marciello going back out. Number 1 back up, John.
Yep, there is a problem with that right rear.
It took a long time to do the refueling. I think it might have been a refueling problem before they got round to starting. They took a very long time refueling the car. So 25 stretching its lead. Marcus Winkelhock on board. He will be due in the pits fairly soon, but again he's lapping relatively sensibly. 2-minute 23s. We saw him have the pace, but he got bottled up behind the 90 Mercedes. And it definitely cost him his sweet spot on his tyres. Stuck him behind, couldn't get past, and Raffaele Marciello really worked the traffic extremely well ahead of him, and that was key to that 90 staying in the mix. Still that rear bodywork hanging off the number 7 Bentley as Stephen Kane charges around, but clearly race officials don't deem it to be dangerous. It's obviously not coming off, it's just simply out of shape. Otherwise they'd have given him the black and white flag, brought him into the pit lane. and had that removed. But Winkelhock pressing on in the 25 Audi. Oh, how Santalot Racing would love to put one over Team WRT in the battle to be the top Audi outfit for so long now. It might look battered, but it's certainly effective. Might be missing the front part of its bodywork in front of the radiator, but they've got that all under control now. Another windscreen strip pulled off. Andy Soucek out. And just looking to see how many laps ahead of the sister car it is. 7 laps clear of the sister car. Shows the problem the number 7 Bentley has had. But as we get into the closing 1 hour and 48 minutes, the 24 hours at Spa-Francorchamps, back into the lead of the race goes the Mercedes. In the background of your shot, it's dark blue with a black middle to its bonnet, but those white flashes and the red nose treatment. Leading the way, looking to see how far behind Christopher Haas is. There he is in number 25. So Santalot going very well again and lapping faster than the Mercedes. Christopher Haas hunting him down. The gap 5.8
seconds. And as you pointed out, Bruce running well on that lap. He was 1.8 seconds quicker than the Mercedes. That's a bunch of time. May have been again just due to the location of traffic around the circuit.
The number 90 Mercedes again waiting to have a time that's more than 2 minutes 13 seconds, when in fact 1 hour and 5 minutes must be on the clock, or slightly less when it crosses the white line to go back out onto the circuit. So it's being held not to exceed.
What is his lap time? 2:22.3.
Yeah, there
so
we have
already
it.
He's gone just about 2 seconds quicker than on the previous lap, and if he stays out as he has done, will he come in at the end of this lap, which will be in effect a flying lap? As the Bentley now coming in, Maxime Soulet
from third position, but it was the Hunter. Right, 1 minute and 5 seconds is what he needs to have when he crosses the white line. Through one, where's the white line? Just under the Audi gantry. There it is. So he's done it with 3 seconds to go. So the hold was a good one. Christopher Haas about to complete lap 530. His lap time 2:22.1. That is a good lap. He's got a little bit of traffic up ahead of him. Should be able to pick it off without too much trouble. The background is where we find the Bentley, but he's clear of the traffic.
So the gap was 7.8 and
9.8. He's lost 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's a bunch of time, and that's just simply by catching the traffic at the worst possible place.
But it's still nervous if you're a Santalot boss sitting in the garage. How long can 33.5 minutes feel? We're about to find out.
It's very, very uncomfortable. If you don't bite your fingernails, now's the time. And it's really all in the hands at this point of the race, in the last phase of the race. There's nothing the team any longer can contribute other than giving information and to help the driver. There's no more pit stops. There's no more gains or losses in the pit lane.
As the Bentley number 8 goes round La Source, it's almost identical lap time to the race leader.
Yeah,
extraordinary.
It's within a couple of hundredths of a second of one another.
This is going to the crunch. 13.5 seconds clear,
so
with 3.5 minutes remaining.
One more.
One more after this, I would suggest. For Christopher Haas, he has the pleasure of bringing it home. As I said, it's hot in those cars. The temperature is certainly soaring as the sky is blue, dotted with clouds here at Spa-Francorchamps. But as you can see from the fantastic television shots, as we look back down at the Bentley that's giving chase, that's not going to catch it. It's also got 3 cars to overtake before it can get to the race-leading Audi. Number 25 going down into the Bruxelles hairpin, formerly known as Rivage. Then it goes through the kink and then head down the slope to Pouhon. Chris Reinke from Audi Sport up there with the Santalot crew. Sebastian Schittai, a small, sheepish, one little smile. They're on the final lap of the 69th running of the Spa 24 Hours. The number 25 car, his car, in the lead of the race. Christopher Haas has done a fantastic double stint. He pushed, he harried, he tried to get the 90 Mercedes out of the way. Couldn't dislodge it, but that has a different amount of time in that final pit stop. It was held, it had to be held, otherwise the final stint time for Raffaele Marciello would be too long and they'd have picked up a time penalty. The penalty effectively was served in the pits by Team ACA ASP to avoid a penalty. It dropped them down to 3rd place behind the Bentley, the number 8 Bentley crew, but it's time almost for autographs. Okay, the emotions starting to come, the satisfaction, extending their championship lead. If you can't take victory, extend your championship lead. It's a good second, a very strong second for the Bentley crew.
Most important is they've extended their championship position. Love the victory. but we've done the next best thing, and that's what we came here to do.
So halfway around the final lap, car 25, the race leader, just going down towards Pouon, a double left-hander. While number 8, Bentley, you can see it going through the Bruxelles hairpin and on down the slope. Of course, gradient, such a feature of a lap of this fabulous circuit at Spa-Francorchamps. Third place, looking back to find Raffaele Marciello. He's another nearly 40 seconds back in the ACA ASP Mercedes, but down towards the lowest point on the circuit, going through Fagnes, on towards Campus, and then Curve Paul Frere, where the track will turn up the slope one last time for the 25 Audi crew from Audi Sport Team Saint-Aloc, and it's Christopher Haase who really did the spade work, building on the efforts of Jules Cournot and Marcus Winkelhock. They can all be inordinately proud for Jules Cournot getting used to 24-hour racing with such an experienced pair of pros. They both know these Audis so super well. He will have learned valuable lessons that I'm sure will lead to further big wins. Garage 59 McLaren is just in front of the car that will win the race. The clock has beat down to nothing. We've got to the 24-hour mark. This is the final lap. This is the final sequence of corners. Here comes Christopher Haase and the crew's up on the pit wall, ready to cheer and celebrate. The cars bunching up behind as 25 takes the checkered flag and the applause. Victory to Christopher Haase. And the AM winner is just in behind, 888. So there is the Bentley in second place behind. But for Cournot, for Winkelhock, and for Christopher Haase, that's victory.
Outstanding effort by the Saint-Aloc team. Thoroughly deserved a race of pace, but of strategy, and making the best of what you have. Both the Bentley team and the Saint-Aloc Audi team rightly and deservedly proud of the efforts by everybody. There's the third place, the Mercedes. A stellar effort by Raffaele Marciello. I don't know how many hours he spent behind the wheel.
We think
outrageous.
We think it's close on 14 out of 24, which doesn't leave a whole lot for his teammates, but this is a driver who really is taking to it all. And don't forget the 90 Mercedes that does collect third place. They'll be proud of that. They'll think there might have been more, but they survived a spin through Eau Rouge, so you've got to ride your luck when it comes your way.
Christopher, an absolute massive congratulations. You were absolutely flying.
Well, I can't believe it. We just won the 24-hour race, Spa. It's incredible. It was such a tough race, so hard. We came back. We lost 2 laps in the beginning of the night. We just came back. I'm totally done. Sweating like hell, smelling. But I guess that's the emotion of the 24-hour Spa.
Let's take a look at the results of the 69th Spa 24 hours. We can tell you who was the race winner. It was the number 25 Audi crew. Victory by 11.8 seconds over the M Sport number 8 Bentley that chased but eventually had to accept defeat. Leading with an hour or so to go, the 90 Mercedes fell back with that long final pit stop to third place. Then the Porsche that could have won it had a 3-minute stop-go penalty. That blew its chances for 117, but it showed great form. The 1 and 2 Team WRT Audis finished in reverse order, 2 ahead of 1. Any win is good in the AM level, but let's face it, quite simply, to win at Spa is the biggest one on their sporting calendar.
No question at all.
Look at the size of the trophies. That's for the national class. If they get any bigger for the AM class, they won't be able to carry them off. The Black Falcon crew in their Mercedes, the 16 Mercedes, were too strong. They really didn't put a wheel out of line in the very attractive-looking blue, red and white Mercedes, that mid-blue. Oliver Morley, Miguel Toril, Marvin Kirchhofer and Maxi Goetz. Victory in the Pro-Am class in the Spa 24 hours.
And Bruce, for Saint-Aloc Racing, a major day.
A breakthrough victory for Saint-Aloc Racing, victory for Audi, Bentley in second place, and manufacturer Variety third place, taken by ACA Mercedes. So it's been a brilliant Spa 24 hours from Martin Haven and me, Bruce Jones. Thank you for joining us. We've had a fabulous time. Can't wait for this race in 12 months' time. Do come and join us.